Today we got a blog post talking about the week ahead within Call of Duty in Cold War, and not so much in Warzone, but what isn't said also leaves the door open for a potential surprise introduction for Modern Warfare and Warzone. So today we're going to break down what we know of coming up here for this week, and also what could be but isn't guaranteed. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What would you like to see here out of this week? Anything in particular? And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's aim for 1,000 likes here on this video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Warzone, Modern Warfare, Cold War, anything COD related. We get you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, let's jump into it. So firstly, let me tackle one thing up front here. I'm incredibly behind schedule to the discussion at hand, to which I do apologize. Real life had some things come up that I had to attend to, and I think the only time that I've taken 2 days off in a row was around this time last year when I had surgery to remove my appendix, to which I literally wasn't allowed to leave the hospital. So for this delay in messaging, I do apologize. But having seen the reporting come out with more and more, it's honest to God disgusting that we even have to have this discussion. Wherever this type of behavior lies, at Blizzard's offices, at the Warcraft side of things as reported on in the lawsuit, on the Activision side, it doesn't matter. That type of absolute shit deserves to be called out, put a spotlight on, and for those responsible being absolutely nailed for it. I just truly cannot understand why it's so hard for some people to be just decent human beings. No one's better than anyone else, and that type of thinking is just absurd. I won't lie when I say that even though I haven't been able to upload and touch on this before today, I found it incredibly hard to put my thoughts into actual words because I just can't fathom that sort of behavior. I'm very close to the PR team at Activision, and I mean that on a personal level, that each of these people that I've encountered with are some of the kindest humans I've ever met in the industry. Half of them in the last 5 or 6 years or so that I've had an open dialogue with have been women. I just can't even begin to think of how anyone could do that. I genuinely don't know what to say when it comes to all of this. Like, I'm still trying to just wrap my head around it. The entire thing is just shocking and disgusting to say the least. I just hope that for once there's actually accountability that's delivered. So while today we're going to be talking about the week ahead here in terms of what you can look forward to in the realms of Call of Duty, one thing that I would like to add to that list is that we get some sort of update here regarding this, that I don't know if there's such thing as good news when you look at this situation, but something that's done, some accountability to be had, something. Now, I'm not even going to pretend to know how to bridge this over, but the week ahead here. Today, we got a blog post detailing a little bit about what is to come for the week across Call of Duty, but while it details a bit of the normal things you'd expect, it also leaves questions open for something that they didn't quite mention. So to start, before we get speculative, let's talk about the things that are actually confirmed. First, the free access weekend for Cold War is continuing on for a couple of days here still, going until the 29th, which if you don't have Cold War, it's your chance to play MP in a lot of different modes, plus any of the round-based zombies offerings, so Die Maschine, Fire-based Z, and Mauer der Toten. Pretty cool for those wanting to try it out, but outside of that, there really is only detailed things like modes and shop stuff, which for obvious reasons, I don't want to talk about the shop. But for this week, we have a few modes which I definitely think are pretty nice here. Me personally still grinding out DM Ultra, putting myself through that pain. I don't quite know why, but I'm happy with some of these that can actually help out quite a bit for that camo grind. A few of those include Collateral Combined Arms 24/7, which is something I've used for my camo grind a little bit. Happy that's returning. I just hope they don't take out 12v12. But I found Collateral to be pretty decent for camo challenges for things like snipers and launchers. If you're playing Domination and Combined Arms, I think it's that B flag or B base that overlooks the sort of oil drum spawn point. It overlooks that, but there's a ton of vehicle spawns there as well, so people will just come flying out on vehicles, and it makes progressing that ground-based or vehicle destructions pretty easy to tackle. So happy to continue that for my unfortunate Dark Matter grind. Another one that I'm happy for is the 3v3 snipers only, replacing gunfight blueprints. So seems like we won't lose 6v6 face-off, which is definitely nice. I think that's probably one of the best modes for camo grinding, but this is definitely nice because I suck at sniping in Cold War. So if you're like me, having a snipers only playlist, hopefully that should help out in the grand scheme of things, getting some challenges done. The final thing that they detailed was that of a gunfight tournament. That's coming this Thursday on the 29th, which should introduce us to our new set of rewards. But as always, you seem to have to work through all of them. So if you're a few behind, you won't earn the newest items for completing it just one time through. So for me, somebody that hasn't played any of the tournaments this year, I'd have to do at least, like, I think, what, 7 we're up to with this week's now in order to get all of the rewards. But those will be new and introduced as of this week. It was also announced that there's going to be a double weapon XP, which will be kicking off this weekend, so if you need to rank anything up, that'll be a good time to do so. And the final thing announced in this blog post on the side of sort of playlists and progression type things is that they announced a discount on Battle Pass tiers for this weekend. Now, Here's the thing, this isn't confirmed, so do with this information what you will, but nearing the end of every season, of course, Battle Pass items are obviously something you want to get before they're gone for good, but historically speaking, every time that we've had a discounted tier weekend, the following weekend, or usually the last weekend of the season, we see a double Battle Pass event. So my advice, if you have the time to put into the game to play later on down the line, in say either next weekend or the weekend following that final weekend of the season, and you're not too far off, like you're not just starting at tier 1 now, save your money. It's not worth it to buy these. Don't buy them at a discounted price because, like again, historically speaking, there's probably going to be another modifier here that boosts the earn rates for tiers. Now, the only other thing mentioned in this blog post, again, was that of the shop stuff, which I don't really want to talk about once again. The only thing, though, that I will is a quick mention that Weaver is coming this week, which essentially completes all of what we've seen for the seasonal content on deck. The only other two things explicitly stated in the roadmaps, not here just yet, are the Mace melee weapon in both Cold War and Warzone, as well as Blueprint Blitz, that sort of modifier within Warzone that'll spawn a contraband contract, giving the ability to get a blueprint that is exclusive to Warzone and maybe even retroactive in terms of some Easter egg blueprints after you complete 2 contracts in either BR or Plunder. Though I do find it hilarious the use of the marketing image in this blog post. They have a picture of Mace holding the mace, even though the mace isn't coming out or detailed to be. Probably the most I've ever said the word mace in a 3 to 5 sentence span. But anyways, that may or may not be coming. I'm going to lean more so towards it not coming this week just because it hasn't been explicitly detailed. I will say, though, that I don't know if Blueprint Blitz, like we mentioned, will be something that's announced or if it just shows up. That might be one of those things that this switch is just kind of flipped, similar to the unmentioned Easter egg baskets we found around Verdansk for a few days in Warzone in the spring. But why I bring up Weaver in this content at all is that this now leaves the window for that CX9 to be smaller and smaller, assuming that it comes before the Season 5 launch. This assumption is all based on the fact that we'll see it before Season 5, as Raven stated in the mid-season update in their patch notes that we'd see a long-awaited weapon coming into the game before the introduction of new perks and the changing of High Alert, which our best guess is at the earliest would be Season 5's launch, given that that's the next title update after the mid-season update, and that each title update has kind of brought something of significant change of some kind over the last couple of updates. I'm not saying anything like changing the fundamentals of a map or anything, but we had a huge weapon tunings pass with the promise of new perks coming and everything like that, and we did see some things change slightly with the map within the Season 4 launch. But that window for that CX9 is getting smaller and smaller, assuming it comes before Season 5. Given these blogs don't really mention much of anything in regards to Modern Warfare content, there's a part of me that thinks maybe we potentially see it this week. I mean, think of it. The rule of 2 that we've discussed here on the channel in the past, we see things drop, have about a week to play out, and then a week building up to the next launch, so you get a little bit of both. Players have access and a time to experience the new things, but also time to look forward to what's next. That could very well be the case here because we end up seeing that this is the 2-week out mark from Season 5. So if you drop a new weapon here at the end of the season, you end up having a week to kind of play it out, and then the marketing for Season 5 will kick in. That potentially could happen, but also that window could maybe not be this week, because next perhaps is that we see, again, maybe that release of the Mace in tandem with that. If it's not released this week, it's probably dropping that final week of the season for Cold War and Warzone. So I think it's possible we could see the CX9 at that same time. But again, this is all based on that theory that it's going to happen before Season 5. Maybe it doesn't. So just keep your eyes open for that. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Though personally, I will say that I think that this is sort of indicative of the SMG itself, this speculation, this prospect of it coming. I don't quite know that I would expect just yet a store bundle with that to be included, and the bundle that I'm referencing is that of the Soap bundle, the one that comes along with the Ciroc CX9 blueprint. The more I think about it, the longer and longer this is held out, I kind of think that that bundle is going to be a bonus for pre-ordering Vanguard. Immediate access to it, but still available as a standalone, kind of how you could buy that Ghost UDT bundle in the store, but also you could get it for free by buying Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered earlier last year. So that very well could be a thing here that happens. We end up seeing the CX9 drop, and then a couple of weeks later, once Vanguard is officially revealed, pre-orders go live. That could be the additional blueprint you end up getting as a pre-order bonus and the immediate access stuff for that. So I don't know. It's all speculation right now. We are gearing up towards the end of the season, so it's going to be a little bit drier, but we still have some things to look forward to that could be cause for some surprise. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Do you think we'll see the CX9 introduced this week, or do you think just like what's detailed in the blog post, it'll be a whole lot of not really nothing, but kind of nothing. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so much single thing all things Warzone, Modern Warfare, Cold War, anything COD related, we got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get kicked outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But said, thanks so much for watching. Minus Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.